What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I've got this 2022 Ram 1500 Sport Night Edition. If you're enjoying these videos, don't forget to tap the subscribe button, as it does help out the channel and it also helps with the YouTube algorithm. Now let's jump into the Sport Night Edition and take a look at what trims you can get. Of course, the trims are the same as they've always been for the Ram 1500s. You can get the Tradesman, BigHorn, Sport, which you're looking at obviously, Rebel, Laramie, Longhorn, or the Limited. Now when it comes to the Sport or the Rebel, if you want to get the 5.7 liter Hemi with the Etorque, you're going to have to get the GT package. Otherwise, you can get the non-Etorque if you don't want the GT package. But on the Laramies, doesn't matter which of the two engine options you choose, the GT option stays optional. Now, when it comes to the standard safety features with a Sport model, you're going to be getting the advanced brake assist and your forward collision warning with active braking. However, like this truck, if you end up getting the level 2 equipment group, you're also going to get your Park Sense front and rear park assist with stop. Let's go ahead and start at the front of this beautiful Sport Night Edition. When it comes to the difference between a normal Sport and a Night Edition, there's not much of a difference, to be honest, because as you can see in the front, it's exactly like a regular Sport, because like I mentioned, you've got your front sensors, you've got your LED fog lights, and then if you move up, your whole grille is blacked out, including your grille surrounding, which is part of obviously your Night Edition package. But on the normal Sport, it'll just be a body colored grille surrounding. And then of course, you've got your front LED headlamps as well. When you move up to the hood, standard, you're not gonna get this type of a hood, because this is an upgraded option that this particular truck has, and it's the Sports Performance hood, which in my opinion looks way better on these trucks. But keep in mind, the two vents that you get up top, they're not functional, they're just for show. And the same thing is up top, which it's just for show and it's not functional. And then of course, you got your full 1500 blacked out badging. As you make your way to the side of the Sport Night Edition, you'll notice a little bit more of the differences compared to a normal Sport, and those are your 22-inch black forged aluminum wheels, which are part of your Night Edition package. Otherwise, you're just gonna get your 20-inch premium painted polished wheels, but regardless of which one you choose, you're still gonna get your blacked out badging and your body colored power folding mirrors. And another upgraded feature that this particular truck has are your black side steps. And like I mentioned, this truck also has your level 2 equipment group, so with that, you're also gonna get your remote proximity keyless entry, which is very convenient. Looking at the key fob, it's a traditional key fob with any other Ram truck. You've got your unlock, lock, remote start, and your panic button, and on the rear you've got the Ram logo. And also standard will be your 3.21 rear axle ratio. However, you can upgrade that to the 3.92 if you like. Coming to the rear of the Sport Night Edition, and starting off at the bottom, of course, you've got your nice dual exhaust system, you've got your upgraded hitch, and this particular truck also has your bed utility group, which is also going to give you your deployable bed step. Right above your hitch, you'll have your typical plugs, wiring for all your trailer needs, and then of course your rear Park Sense system as well. And as for these beautiful tail lights, these are kind of in that smoky black tinted haze, which really looks nice, especially on white. And then of course, you've got your sensor there in the middle. On your actual tailgate, all of your badging is blacked out, Sport is blacked out, your Ram head logo is blacked out, and your 4x4 badging is blacked out. Also, something that's new for the 2022 models is if you take a look underneath of your tailgate handle, not only do you have your rear camera, but you also have this new LED strip light now, which of course makes life so much easier, especially if you're towing at night. Opening up the tailgate, this truck does have the optional spray and bed liner directly from the factory. And like I was mentioning, because this has the bed utility group, you're also going to get LED bed lighting and your Mopar 4 adjustable tie down hooks, which make lugging around your cargo so much easier. And also, what's an extra feature on this truck is your tonneau cover. Another great feature that comes standard on the Sport models is your rear power sliding window, and you can make use of this in many ways. As we make our way to the inside at the back of the Sport Night Edition, you can see the door trim is pretty much all blacked out. You've got leather here and there, and then the bottom section is of course plastic. At the bottom, you've got a decent amount of room and of course cup holders and stuff. In the middle, you do have more storage area, and then you've got your speakers set up right there. Typically, you would just get the standard 6 speakers, but this one has the upgraded 9 Alpine speakers with a subwoofer. And up by the door handle, you do have kind of like a leather section right next to it, and then above that, you have this nice black accent trim that goes throughout the whole truck. As for the rear seats and of course the front seats as well, they're fully leather seats, which is really nice, of course. And the seats back here are actually very comfortable. But when it comes to any of the Rams, regardless if they're leather seats, vinyl seats, or just cloth seats, Ram seats are very comfortable in general. And if you go ahead and pull down the center handrest at the back, you're gonna have access to 2 cup holders for the rear passengers. And of course, just like any other Ram, the rear seats do fold up, so you have a ton more storage space in the back. If your bed is full for some reason, or if you don't want to use it, you have enough room inside to put whatever you need to. Also, another great standard feature on the sport trims are your rear in-floor storage bins. Now, these are very nice because you can tuck away stuff or whatever you want to do. You can have stuff in there. And then also, if you need to wash those buckets, they do come out as well. As for behind the driver and passenger seats, these are fully leather back seats because obviously this is a fully leather interior. And then you do have matte pockets as well for additional storage. As for the center rear console, not only do you have 2 more cup holders up top, but you got more of that nice black accent trim, and then you're venting and some space in the middle to put a phone or a wallet, and then you've got USB ports on the rear along with a 115 volt plug as well. As we head into the front, you can see the door panel area looks exactly like, of course, the rear, just a little bit different. You have more space at the bottom near the cup holders, and then you still got your speaker setup, you've got your window controls, and you've also got your button for your power folding side mirrors, and of course more black accent trim. As for the front seats themselves, just like the rear seats, these are fully leather seats, and of course standard, these seats will be heated seats, but because this is the leather face front bucket seats package, not only are you gonna get your power driver side, but also the power passenger seat as well, along with the front vented seats. Underneath, nothing too special, just your foot pedals, but if you go above that, you have your electronic parking brake, and standard on the sport trims are your power adjustable pedals, which is really nice to have, of course. And then in the center there, you have your hood latch release. Above all of that, you've got your lighting controls for the front, back, and all. And then next to that, you have your dimmers, and your steering wheel is manual adjustable. As you make your way into the Sport Night Edition, your dashboard is covered in bits and pieces of leather. You've got your speakers in both corners, and then of course in the center, you've got your Alpine subwoofer. As for your center gauge cluster, this is pretty much identical to every other Ram that there is, just minus any small little details depending on the trim level. But regardless, everything is exactly the same. And then even in the center there, you can move things around, have whatever you need to have in front of you. That way it's all easily accessible. As for the steering wheel, this is a leather wrapped steering wheel, and of course it's also heated. On the steering wheel itself, on the left side, you've got controls for your center gauge cluster like I've shown you, and next to that you've got your Bluetooth controls. Over on the right side, you've got controls for your cruise control settings, and then of course your gear limit selector. Behind the steering wheel on the left side, you've got controls for your high beams, indicators, and your windshield wipers. Over on the right side behind the steering wheel, you've got your push to start button. Below that, you've got your gear knob selector with your other options such as your 4-wheel drive auto, high, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive low, and all of that good stuff. As for the center handrest, it is fully wrapped in leather along with that nice Ram head logo. If you go ahead and open up the first section, you have a decent amount of space to put small little items or whatever you need to, and you also get a USB charging port in there. But if you go ahead and open up the second section, which is the main section, not only are you going to get this nice little conversion table, but you're going to have a ton of room inside the center section. Just like any other Ram trucks, they have no shortage of storage space, especially in the center here, because you can move this slider front and back and have space in the back and in the front. And of course, on the actual slider, you have a little bit of room to put small little items, and of course your 2 front cup holders. If you go ahead and move the slider back, down below you do have a 115 volt plug, and right above that you have 2 spots to hold 2 phones, and above the holders you do have more USB ports along with a aux cable port. Above that you have a few buttons for your front and rear park sensors, which you can turn on and off. You've got your tow haul mode and your traction control, and as you can see, this one has the upgraded 12-inch touchscreen. Typically standard, you're only gonna get the 8.4-inch touchscreen, but you can upgrade it to this beautiful 12-inch screen. And now with the 2022 models, you're gonna be getting the new software, which is the Uconnect 5 system, because now when you're on your homepage, you can actually add pages and even reconfigure how you want everything laid out, and you have a bunch of different layout options. On your media section, you're gonna have your typical AM, FM, Sirius XM, but now with the Uconnect 5 system, you can wirelessly connect your Apple Apple CarPlay and your Google Android Auto system. Under your comfort settings, here you can control the heating and cooling, but you can also do it from the physical buttons on the screen on the sides. But I find it easier to just use the touchscreen, and you can also access your heated seats, vented seats, and all of that. Moving over to your navigation, you're gonna get this beautiful full screen navigation, and if you're low on fuel, it'll actually let you know now of the nearby gas stations, and also you can turn this into a 3D map now. Moving over to your phone settings, you can now connect two phones at the same time. Under your vehicle settings, here you can dim your rear view mirror and also access your rear view camera. Finally, going into your apps section, here you can do a bunch of different things, access a bunch of different applications, and now with the Uconnect 5 system, you get Alexa built in. And also the bar at the top is a touch bar, so if you touch any of the options, it'll bring out a shortcut menu. Above your screen, you've got more of that black accent trim, which just looks really nice, and you've got a little bit of space up top to put small little items along with a 12-volt adapter. Above that, you've got obviously your dimmable rear view mirror, but if you move further above, you've got a bunch of different buttons. You've got dome lighting for the interior, assist, and SOS. You've got your sunroof options, your sunshade options, and your rear power sliding window option. And as another upgrade option that this particular truck has, and is one of my favorite, is the dual panoramic sunroof. Heading over to the passenger side, in your glove compartment, it's the same amount of space just like any other Ram truck there is, but if that does get full, you do have a secondary one which you can open up and have access to a little bit more space. But if you go ahead and close the secondary compartment, you do have a nice looking sport logo. As for what powers this truck, like I mentioned, this has the 5.7 liter Hemi V8 Fuelsaver MDS, because of course if you choose the Etorque one, it's going to require you to get the GT package, but obviously this one is not the GT package. So with this particular one, it's going to be producing 395 horsepower with 410 foot-pound of torque. Now with this particular engine setup, and also depending on what kind of spec you choose for your truck, whether it's a crew cab, quad cab, 4x4, 4x2, or whatever, your towing capacity is going to be about 11,610 pounds. And here is the window sticker for the 2022 Ram 1500 Sport Night Edition. You can see at the top, it just tells you your exterior color, engine option, the typical stuff. Underneath that, you've got your standard equipment that come with the truck, and below that is your optional equipment. As you can see, this truck does have a ton, and I mean a ton, of optional equipment added to it. And then you'll see the final price, of course, and in Canadian dollars, also minus any dealer discounts or manufacturing discounts. And that does it for this 2022 Ram 1500 Sport Night Edition. Let me know in the comments down below, do you love this truck or do you hate it?